The Runkandel family is a renowned sword family that dominates half of the world. Its members are born with strong physiques and exceptional talent, ruling over the world with overwhelming prowess. Combat, control, and legacy. These three things define everything about this family. Jin Runkandel, the youngest son of the Runkandel family, was born into this world of power and expectation. During the selection ceremony, where the future of a child is predicted, Jin made a bold choice. He selected the sword of the family head. His choice was met with approval. You've chosen as I've hoped. The sword was no ordinary weapon. It was the founder's sword, the symbol of Runkandel. Jin had once believed his future would be filled with success and fame, just like the rest of his family. But reality proved harsh. Despite his lineage, Jin possessed zero talent for swordsmanship. How can someone from the Runkandel family be that lousy at using a sword? He was mocked. He became known as Runkandel's embarrassment, Runkandel's disgrace, a dunce far below the family's standards. While he practiced tirelessly with a wooden sword, his brothers taunted him. Are you swinging that useless wooden sword again? Leave him be. I guess he won't wield a sword unless it's a special sword. One brother jeered, hinting at the legendary Barasada. Jin didn't pay them any attention. Then another said, Hey, why aren't you answering? Your almighty brothers are asking you a question, while kicking Jin in the stomach. Jin fell on the ground and looked for his wooden sword. He extended his hand to it, but his brother stepped on his hand and said, Why do you even bother swinging that thing? It's useless anyway. Then another brother found his basic swordsmanship theory notes and said, Do you think you'd get good at swords just by reading about some swordsmanship theory? His brothers saw him as unworthy, a failure who didn't know his place, they declared, tearing away his book as Jin pleaded, Stop! Give it back to me. But Jin's brothers were relentless. Because chances are given to you, you fail to know your place and keep holding on to hope. Jin spoke. You didn't need to do that. We're all doing this for your sake. Why do you keep talking back? Their cruelty knew no bounds. They even dragged his nanny Gilly into their taunts. Is that what your nanny taught you to do? Jin defended her fiercely. Gilly has got nothing to do with this. But his defiance only fueled their anger. Seeing as how you're still defying us, it looks like we need to teach you a good lesson on manners. Yet, Jin remained resolute. My brother's bullying, my pathetic, non-existent talent, I don't care about them at all. He clung to the belief that perseverance would eventually earn him recognition from his family and a rightful place among the Runkandels. But fate had other plans. At the age of 25, Jin faced the ultimate rejection. Jin Runkandel. From this moment on, you are banished from the family. The reason given was almost mocking in its backhanded acknowledgement. Since your efforts are commendable, we grant you exile instead of death. Cast out and stripped of his name, Jin wandered aimlessly, lost in a world that had no place for him. Yet, in his darkest hour, destiny intervened. It was around this time that Jin met someone who would change everything, a mysterious figure he simply called Master. And for the first time in his life, Jin discovered the truth. He did have talent. Not just any talent, but one that had been forbidden in the Runkandel family. Magic. 3 years after his exile, Jin began to unlock his hidden potential. His master taught him to connect the mana that exists in nature and the magician's mana to recover and strengthen his power. Then out of nowhere, darkness began swallowing him, and Jin found himself in a pitch-black place. Jin asked, Who are you? The entity replied, I am Soldaret, the master of all shadows. Then he said, Jin Runkandel, I'll propose a contract to you as the god of shadows. If you make a contract with me, not only will you be able to use shadow power, you will also be able to negate all curses. Oh my, oh contractor, it looks like you were hated by someone when you were young. It looks like your talent has been cut off because of a mere curse. Jin, in shock, asked, A curse? Soldaret replied, It's a curse known as the Bladed Illusion, which suppresses talent for swordsmanship. It's a terrible curse that can never exist in the Runkandel family. Then with a snap of his fingers, Soldaret broke the curse that had made Jin's life hell. And then he said, Maybe that's why I was drawn to you. With a solemn promise, Soldaret declared, From this moment forth, no curses will be able to bring harm upon you anymore. All that's left is for you to become an extraordinary magic swordsman. Then Soldaret addressed him by the name Jin thought he had lost. Jin Runkandel. And with a cryptic smile, Soldaret added, I will have fun observing you. Then the darkness vanished and Jin came back to his room. As soon as he processed what just happened, he picked up his sword, ran outside, and started to swing it. He began to experience breakthroughs he had never imagined. It was as Solderet had said. Every time he picked up his sword, he reached new heights effortlessly. It's like it doesn't weigh anything at all. It feels like I'm just swinging my arms. The boy once mocked as the worst dunce in the history of the Runkandel family was now discovering his true potential. A spark of determination ignited within him. Then an idea popped in Jin's head. If I just add on magic, then what will happen? Then he began casting magic. And then a moment of hard-won realization. Finally, my hard work has come. In a little distance from where Jin was training, a bunch of knights were spying on him. Jin's consciousness flickered in the darkness. Didn't I just hear something? He thought groggily. A creeping realization dawned on him. My body feels heavy for some reason. Panic set in as he called out weakly, "Is anyone there?" But only silence answered. The cruel truth struck him like a blade. I can't believe I died while sleeping. Despair washed over him as he questioned everything. Is this because I am useless after all? All his struggles, all his hard-won power, do I not even have the chance to use the magic and power of Solderet that I had finally obtained? If it was going to be like this. Then a voice pierced through the void, familiar and warm. Cheer up, young Master Jin. Jin's mind reeled. Gilly, why is she here? The presence of his childhood nanny made no sense. Fragmented thoughts swirled around him. The people of the family? What's happening right now? Suddenly, reality twisted. A flash of recognition, Barasada, the name of the legendary sword echoed in his mind. Then, clarity. It's the selection ceremony. Jin's consciousness surged with realization. I've returned to the past. Not as the exiled failure, not as the struggling outcast, but as the one-year-old baby, Jin Runkandel. The scene unfolded just as it had decades before. The family elders gasped as the infant made his choice. The youngest has chosen the family head's sword. But this time, Jin knew the truth. This was no mere rebirth. It was a second chance. The memories of his past life, his failures, and the power he had gained in exile all remained. The path ahead was clear. The boy once branded Runkandel's disgrace now held the knowledge of a lifetime and the will to rewrite destiny itself. With the ceremony concluded, the decree was issued, move the youngest to the Storm Castle. 6 years later, now 7 years old, Jin reflected on his circumstances. I have to stay here until I'm 10 years old, according to the family's rules. The peace was shattered when a maid discovered something horrifying in Jin's quarters. Young master, there's a dead bird in your... Jin's expression darkened. He knew immediately. The only ones who do this in Storm Castle are my brothers, Daytona and Haytona Runkandel, both 9 years old, the 11th and 12th sons of the family. True, we put that there for you to see, Daytona admitted shamelessly. How's our gift to you? Haytona taunted. Are you moved to tears? Jin's hands clenched. These weren't just childish pranks. Brats who just turned 9 killed an innocent bird just to torment me. Don't actually cry though, that'd be annoying, Daytona sneered. Hey, can you hear us? Does someone who's destined to become the patriarch think nothing of us? Where did you leave your Barasada? Daytona demanded. You're so quiet that I can't hear you. Jin's mind raced. I know they become notorious murderers once they become flag bearers. Haytona stepped closer. He grabbed Jin's shoulder and punched him, but Jin caught his fist and said, shut the hell up, while releasing a dark energy. Then he punched Haytona in the chin, followed by a strike to the stomach and another blow to the face. Jin spoke again. I bore it until now, but I can't take it anymore. From now on, you'd best stay out of my sight as much as possible. A knight rushed in, horrified by the scene before him. Young Master Jin, what in the world happened? Jin's reply was chillingly calm. They fought amongst themselves. When the knight hesitated, Jin's tone sharpened. Did you not hear me? I said they fought all of a sudden and collapsed. The knight, with a mix of shock and grim admiration, thought, as expected of Runkandel, even a child is fierce. The knight spoke. Understood. Then I will take them to a doctor. Jin stopped him. No, Khan? There's somewhere they need to go. Scene shifts outside of the castle. Jin had buried the bird, and in front of the grave, both twins were lying motionless. Young Master Jin, are you going to just leave them here? The rainstorm is going to get stronger soon. Jin's expression didn't waver. He replied, they need to be aware of what they've done. Khan bowed. By your order, young master. Then Jin left, and Khan thought, That force was definitely not aura, and it can't be mana either. If that's the case, then I must report this to the patriarch. Jin watched him go. I knew it. He's heading off to father. But Jin wasn't worried. He had anticipated this. The guard's reaction had confirmed something crucial. Since that must have looked like magic in Khan's eyes, I'm sure he wouldn't just leave it be. And magic was forbidden in the Runkandel family. Yet, Jin's power wasn't mere magic. It was something deeper. I found out that my contract with Soderet is wider in this life. The benefits had grown. One such boon was curse immunity, a perk of being Soderet's contractor. Thanks to it, Jin had avoided bladed illusion. The Jin Runkandel of my previous life no longer exists. From now on, many things will differ from my previous life. What's left now is meeting father. Scene shifts to a forest. Khan had reported everything he saw. The patriarch replied, "So, the youngest beat the Tona twins." A command echoed through the forest. "Assemble the flag bearers. I'll have to go see the youngest." A flag bearer spoke. "The 7 flag bearers of Runkandel and 200 knights have been assembled." The patriarch replied, "Good. Let's go to the storm castle." "A sudden order to gather, huh?" mused Mary, the 7th flag bearer, cracking her knuckles. "I was busy beating up some mages." Diffus, the 4th flag bearer, frowned. "The Tona twins will be out of the storm castle by next year, so I doubt it'd be about them." "Don't you think he's coming to see our youngest?" Mary asked. "Our youngest? Why?" Diffus replied. "He chose the Founder's Sword during the selection, remember?" Mary scoffed. "Ah, right, he did. But would that alone be enough reason for him to come back?" Luna, the 1st flag bearer, silenced them with a look. "There's no way we'll know what father is thinking. Father personally came back to see him." Jin, however, saw through the patriarch's motives. He probably just reported everything that he saw as it was. The implications were obvious. The youngest son who's using a power that isn't magic or aura, father's coming back to check what that power could be. This wasn't a familial visit. It was an inspection. To see if that power, or eye, could be an asset for the future and prosperity of the clan. The gates of the storm castle opened. The patriarch's arrival was met with reverence. "We greet the patriarch." His first command was cold. "Bring the Tona twins." Haytona and Daytona, still nursing their wounds, were dragged forward. The patriarch's voice was like steel. "I heard you got into an altercation with Jin. What was your fault in that altercation?" The twins hesitated, then pointed fingers. "We have no fault. Jin was the one that hurt us." Daytona added, "With an unknown power too. It wasn't aura. It looked like magic. Magic is a forbidden art in our family." Daytona cried. "We should interrogate him before he hides his tracks." The patriarch cut them off. "My sons, etch this into your minds. You will not be able to survive within the Runkandels like this." Jin introduces his father, the patriarch Runkandel, the strongest, but at the same time the coldest person I've ever known. The greatest title in today's time. The peak of a demigod, Genesis Knight. While he once was no different from ordinary people, after he achieved the status of a Genesis Knight, he lost most of his human emotions and became an existence obsessed only with the clan and its development. To my father, someone with no talent in swordsmanship like me would be treated as a nobody, but this time it's different. In this life, I'll make sure no one will be able to disregard me. Jin opened the door. All eyes were on him as he calmly walked past them and bowed in front of the patriarch, greeting him. The patriarch's voice cut through the silence like a blade. "Why did you call me patriarch and not father?" Jin's reply was measured, diplomatic. "My brothers, sisters, and the Guardian Knights, over 100 members of the clan, visited today. Because of that, I concluded your visit must be an official one, and that's why I chose to refer to you that way." That's a satisfying answer. Jin bowed slightly. "Thank you, patriarch." But the patriarch surprised him. "I've visited the castle for a different reason today, so refer to me as father for now." Then came the question Jin had anticipated. "Then I'll ask you the same question I asked your brothers. What wrong did your brothers commit in your altercation?" Jin knew the weight behind those words. His father wasn't just asking about the fight. He was testing Jin's judgment, his loyalty, his worth. Jin replied, "If you are a member of the Runkandel family, you must always return what you are given, whether that be a favor or resentment." Mary seemed to agree with Jin's answer. The patriarch ordered everyone to leave the room except the youngest. Knights muttered among themselves, "Has the youngest passed the patriarch's test?" Mary thought to herself, a one-on-one talk with father. Little guy. Not bad, huh? The patriarch spoke. I sent everyone away because I had a few questions only for you. The real interrogation began. The Tona twins mentioned that you used a special power. The run candles strictly forbid the usage of magic because you aren't able to achieve the pinnacle of swordsmanship if you train in magic. What is the power that you were using? If it was magic, I will not allow this to pass lightly. Jin remained calm, but his mind raced. He couldn't reveal the truth, that his power stemmed from a forbidden contract with Saldaret. Yet outright denial would only provoke suspicion. Instead, he feigned uncertainty. I'm not sure about that either. I can't tell if this is either magic or aura, so I was wondering what to call it. If you don't mind, you can help me name it. The patriarch's expression remained unreadable. He replied, "This is the power of Runcandel's founder. That power, shadow energy. So does that mean this child is destined to be the head of this family?" Jin brought the patriarch back to reality. "Father, so what is that power?" The patriarch replied, "That is the power of Saldaret, the god of shadows. Saldaret made a contract with the founder of the Runcandel family, Lord Temar, and is the god that has been with us since. But the bond had faded with time. Since Lord Temar passed away, Saldaret has not appeared in Runcandel." The patriarch's voice grew pensive. "I don't know what the reason for that may be either, but it seems like he is trying to reach out to Runcandel through you." Jin seized the moment. "Then, father, I'm curious about one thing." His question was deliberate, testing the limits of his father's pride. "That person, the god Saldaret, is he stronger than you, father?" The patriarch's response was neither evasion nor arrogance. "Since I have never fought a god before, I don't know." Jin smiled. "You have never fought a god before, huh?" That is truly the best answer he could have given. The patriarch surprisingly approved. "That was a good question. Thanks to this innocent conversational topic, I think that coming to see you today was a good decision." Then, the patriarch turned the tables. "Let me ask you a question in return. That power, how do you want to use that shadow energy?" Jin's answer was immediate, rehearsed. "I want to use this power for the sake of the family." The patriarch's laughter was sharp, almost mocking. "For the family? You beat down your older brothers, threw them into the storm, and you say that you want to use that power for the family. As expected, he isn't going to let this go so easily." The patriarch's scrutiny would be relentless. But Jin had no intention of being caged. "This power is for myself," the patriarch replied. "Yes, I like that. I will keep a close eye on you from now on." As the patriarch's imposing figure retreated from Storm Castle, Jin let out a quiet breath. "Nice. I got through that safely." Not only had he avoided punishment for using shadow energy, getting the justification to use shadow energy however I wanted to is good enough. But to think that father now has expectations of me, this outcome was unprecedented. This is a result that I did not expect, completely different from my previous life. Before him stood his formidable sister, the seventh flag bearer, holding something in her hands as she extended the object toward him. Jin asked, "Sister Mary, what is this?" Sister Mary replied, "It's a special present from your older sister. Boil it well, chew it thoroughly, and get strong quickly." Jin opened the simmering box, which contained the phoenix's heart. Jin's eyes widened slightly. To give this to a 7-year-old child, Sister Mary is crazy. Mary Runcandel, a 6-star knight and the 7th flag bearer, also known as Windfury, she also had another name that wasn't well known, the Mad Woman of the Southern region. Sister Mary's motives were transparent. The reason why his battle-crazed sister gave him this is obvious. Hurry up and get strong so you can become my opponent. The phoenix's heart was no ordinary treasure. If consumed young, it granted fire resistance and accelerated growth, a priceless elixir for any warrior. But its value ran deeper. It's also needed for a 6-star mage to summon a phoenix safely. I might really be able to summon a phoenix with my own hands. Gilly, Jin's ever-loyal nanny, arrived with a warm smile. "Young master, did you wait long?" "Ah, thank you, Gilly. Young Lady Mary gave you such a great gift. Please eat it before it gets cold." But before Jin could lift the spoon, his older brothers, Daytona and Haytona, lingered nearby, their eyes glued to the pot. "Older brothers, if you have something to say, please say it quickly." "Ah, it's nothing. It looked like it was too much for you to eat." Haytona nodded frantically. "Yeah, I saw Gilly holding such a large pot just now, so do you want to eat it that badly?" Both twins nodded yes. Jin said, "Then listen to my request." Later, the twins skulked away, muttering in frustration. "Why do we have to do something like this?" "I know, right? There's nothing here. Why are we doing this? What would happen to us if someone finds out that we dug this out?" Daytona scoffed. What are you saying? Obviously, the youngest is going to get in trouble. Why would we? Haytona hesitated, then nodded. You're right, we just need to eat the soup. But a shiver ran down their spines as they admitted the truth. The youngest is a little scary. The scene shifts. The roof is trembling, and we see a man in a capsule. Jin sat calmly in his quarters as his brothers, Daytona and Haytona, shuffled in with poorly concealed greed. Welcome, brothers. You got here rather quickly, Haytona snapped. Shut up, we did as you asked, so hand over the soup. Jin gestured casually. I already put it on the table over there. Haytona's face lit up, only to darken again as he picked up the spoon. Hey, little bro, isn't this a teaspoon? I said I'd give you some, but I never specified how much. But I kept my promise, right? Well then, enjoy. Yeah, thanks a lot. The scene shifted. Watching from a distance, Jin nodded in satisfaction. I thought they'd do a half-assed job, but they actually did pretty well. His fingers traced the wall. With this thickness, 1-star magic should be enough. I've been frustrated because my mana kept building up without anywhere to use it. But now I finally have the perfect outlet. He began casting, the spell bursting through the wall in a controlled blast. Dust settled as Jin stepped into a place he had never reached in his past life. Runkandle's secret storage, sealed by ancient magic. He remembered how his elder brothers had once dismissed him, saying he didn't need to know about this place because he was unworthy of becoming a flag bearer. But now, standing before the entrance, Jin whispered the trigger phrase, Runkandle's child is here to console Murakan. The doors groaned open, revealing rows of forbidden tomes, the secret knowledge of families Runkandle destroyed over the last 1,000 years. Jin's eyes gleamed. So this is where they stored their stolen legacies. He stepped inside, scanning the endless shelves. One book caught his eye. The Kungin family. They were also a family of swordmasters. The text was filled with advanced theories. This is difficult material, even for 3-star magic. Temptation tugged at him. I'd like to take them with me, but the risk of getting caught is too great. A compromise formed. I'll copy them every time I come here. Then the air shifted. A presence. No way. No one from Stormcastle should be here at this time. The door creaked open and a deep voice rumbled. What are you? Jin's breath caught. Black Dragon? Murakan? Legends had said Murakan was defeated by the first flag bearer and put into an eternal slumber. Jin had never believed it, so the story was true. But this wasn't part of the past he remembered. Murakan never awakened in my previous life. He dropped to one knee, bowing his head. Runkandle's child greets the family's guardian. Murakan's roar shook the vault. You called me a guardian? How dare you reduce me to that title? The dragon's claws gouged the stone as fury radiated off him. Damn you, Runkandle. To think this is what they taught about me. I can't tear apart this little one, but it drives me mad. Jin's lips twitched. You're already tearing into me. Murakan paused, nostrils flaring as he sniffed the air. His gaze narrowed. Huh? What is this smell? Shadow energy. Jin stiffened. Shadow energy? Murakan growled. That's right. I may have slept for 1,000 years, but I'd never forget this scent. This is the power of Solderet. Only those bound by a contract could possess it, just like Temar. Realization clicked in Jin's mind. So the reason Murakan woke up was because of my shadow energy. Murakan leaned closer, eyes blazing. Do you know something? Do you know something? Jin seized the opening. My father told me that this power comes from Solderet, the god of shadows. The dragon froze, trembling. Are you serious? Don't joke with me, child. Then the truth dawned on him, shaking him to his core. The 1,000-year contract, the promised heir? It's you? This little brat? Murakan growled, half in disbelief, half in awe. Hey, kiddo, I made a promise with Solderet long ago, and it seems the one who must cooperate with me to fulfill that promise is you. I'll tell you the details later. For now, I just woke up, and you're too young to understand it all anyway. But I should at least introduce myself properly, to Solderet's contractor. I am Murakan, Solderet's friend and representative, the last descendant of the first being born from shadows. His form rippled, scales glowing as he transformed into his full, colossal dragon body. The chamber quaked beneath his presence, and from this day forth, according to the 1,000-year contract, I will remain by your side. The dragon's eyes bore into Jin. Tell me your name, Solderet's contractor. Jin seized the moment, standing tall despite the crushing aura. I am Jin Runkandle, the 13th child of the Runkandle family, and its youngest, the ancient black dragon, whose name had been etched into legend. Murakan Mountain, a place of stormy winds, was named after him. The stories spoke of his defeat 1,000 years ago at the hands of Temar Rungkandel, the family's founder, and how he had fallen into a deep slumber after the destruction of Storm Castle. However, that isn't the truth. He was the guardian dragon of the founder. Those who make a contract with the gods do it together with a guardian dragon. However, as there was nothing known about the guardian dragon of Saldaret, there was a bit of doubt. I would understand if it was because Murakan had fallen into a deep slumber. Since Murakan is now awake, does that mean I'll get a guardian dragon as well? Jin sought out Murakan in the secret library. Murakan, I'm here. The dragon's response was almost playful. Oh, you came? Jin said my nanny packed some snacks. Take it. Then he thought, since I'll be together with Murakan in the coming days, I should ask him all the things I am curious about. When Jin asked about his battle with Tamar, the dragon shrugged. That was 1,000 years ago. How would I remember? That stupid strawberry pie. Jin muttered, watching as the dragon counted the slices with growing agitation. 1, 2, 3. Huh, there are only 7 of them? Murakan asked, what do you do when you come here? Jin replied, transcribing. I take blank journals out with me, and I write down everything that you tell me in secret. Murakan seemed impressed. Huh, really? So do you understand it a bit? Jin's reply was honest. About 30%. I don't know about the rest. The dragon chuckled. Don't lose too much faith. That's a lot for someone your age. Other kids can't do that, and they're lazy. But Jin's ambitions were far from ordinary. That's just for normal kids. I have 12 older brothers and sisters. Not only that, but I also have my father, mother, and the elders. His voice hardened. If I want to destroy those people, I have to work harder. Jin's thoughts turned to the founder. If he was the founder, how much of this book would he have understood? The answer was clear. Tamar had been a force unlike any other, the strongest being in history. Murakan's voice rumbled through the chamber as he regarded Jin with a mix of amusement and exasperation. I don't think he could even understand a single line in the book at your age. However, a theory isn't necessarily true. He didn't read these books and still fought well. You have potential, just like Tamar did. Then, with deliberate provocation, but you're not as good as him. Jin's grip tightened on his journal. Then, I can never become like the founder? Murakan snorted. You're a contractor of Saldaret, just like Tamar, and you're smart enough to read those books. You're still young, so don't be so impatient and just train hard, and you'll be able to be as strong as Tamar. Who knows? You could even surpass him. Jin asked, is that so? Of course, kid. Do you know what Saldaret's nickname is? Jin shook his head. No, I don't know. It's infinite. Saldaret's power has no limit, Murakan declared, so that means you, as his contractor, have no limit as well. So don't be so glum and have more faith in yourself. Since I'll teach you a new technique to make you feel better, Jin asked. What is it? Murakan replied, shadow energy liberation. Jin blinked. Shadow energy liberation? That's right, Murakan confirmed. All beings who use shadow energy have to familiarize themselves with it, so this is the start and the end of using shadow energy. However, it's incredibly dangerous if you don't learn it properly, so learn it slowly and carefully, Jin nodded. Okay, I'll do that. Then Murakan, what do I have to do first? Murakan's answer was simple. First, you have to learn how to open your mana. Jin asked, open my mana? Why? Jin thought, I already did that so much in my past life. Murakan started explaining. Shadow energy liberation is opening your mana and moving your mana. You have to be able to do these two things proficiently. From now on, you'll have to only practice this for the next 2 to 3 years. Murakan bristled. You don't even know the basics, so I can't teach you anything too advanced. While Murakan was still explaining, Jin had already done it. Murakan's eyes widened. No, but how did you do that? Jin shrugged, as if manipulating fundamental forces of power was trivial. I've just been able to do it for a while. No way. Do you know how to move your mana? A deep sigh rumbled from Murakan's chest. Only the geniuses among geniuses could do that. You really were a capable kid, weren't you? With a grunt, Murakan straightened. Okay, then I'll give you a quick demonstration of what shadow energy liberation is. The air grew heavy as the dragon's own shadow stretched unnaturally, swallowing the light around them. Shadow energy is derived from the shadows. All the shadows in this world were born from Saldaret. So Saldaret is the owner of all the world's shadows, and you are the sole contractor of Saldaret. In other words, it means that you can also become the owner of all the world's shadows. Murakan's teeth gleamed in the darkness. So, what do you think, kid? This is shadow energy liberation. Jin was both impressed and shocked. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a group of knights reported their progress. Lady Luna, Everything has been cleared up on this side. We just have 5 more areas to clear, and then our mission will be complete. Luna nodded. Sure, then 4 months should be enough. Tell the knights to take a break. One more thing. What do 9-year-old kids usually like? Half a year had passed since Jin first met Murakhan, and the Tona twins had finally left, their departure marked by a terse farewell. Gilly, ever dutiful, presented a cake as the small gathering of servants and guardian knights offered their congratulations. Happy 9th birthday! Jin smiled politely. Thank you, everyone. Gilly, would you give some cake to everyone? Gilly replied, Yes, young master. But the celebration was interrupted when a knight rushed in, breathless. Young Master Jin, sorry for the sudden interruption. Mistress Luna has come to visit. The name sent a ripple of tension through the room. Luna Runkandle, the firstborn of the 13 siblings, a 9-star knight, and the family's first flag bearer, also known as White Whale Luna Runkandle. Despite being the strongest of all the siblings, she had no interest in the patriarch's seat. Because of this, Sister Luna never showed interest in any of the siblings. It would be more fitting to describe our relationship as strangers rather than family. Yet now, without warning, she stood at the gates of Storm Castle. Did something big happen to our family? Jin's mind raced. If that's not it, has she found out that I went to the secret library? She studied Jin with an unrateable gaze. You've grown a lot, little one. Jin bowed slightly, masking his wariness. If I'd known, I would have dressed more appropriately to meet you, sister. Luna's lips curved. What a cute thing to say. Is there a need to make an announcement just to see my baby brother? But you look a little out of sorts. Are you feeling unwell? Jin hesitated. Ah, that's not it. Actually, I'm a bit nervous. This is my first time seeing you up close. I think I'm a little on edge for some reason. Luna blinked. You're on edge? A silence stretched between them. Luna knew the Runkandle traditions well. Siblings keep each other in check, steal from each other, and trample one another. Does Jin think I'm here to keep him in check or something? Luna's voice softened, almost regretful. It seems I lacked consideration. You may be young, but I seem to have forgotten that you are the youngest of the Runkandles. My apologies. Then, the unexpected request. I would like to speak with you in private. May I dismiss your nanny and guardian knights for a while? Jin's pulse quickened. Sister, wants to speak with me in private? Despite the strangeness of the situation, one thing was clear. This didn't feel like an ambush. Luna sat across from Jin. Jin, my youngest brother, the reason I came to see you so suddenly like this is because I have something to tell you. Jin remained still, his voice measured. What would that be? When Father came to visit you last time, the behavior you displayed attracted the attention of all the other siblings. This means, the moment you leave the Storm Castle, all of our siblings will be keeping a close watch on you. Her tone softened. I hope you do not lose your own happiness by getting yourself involved in the family fight. I sincerely hope that you will not suffer from the Runkandle family tradition. Jin's mind raced. The reason Sister gave up on being the patriarch of the family was merely because of this. If she doesn't want me to get involved in the sibling rivalry, why did she never warn me even once in my previous life? A bitter realization followed. Was I not even worth speaking to? Or perhaps because the other siblings did not see me as competition at all. The thought stung, but Jin pushed it aside. He met Luna's eyes squarely. Sister Luna, I am ever grateful for your words, but I have absolutely no intention of sitting out on this fight. Jin, I'm serious. I'm not just saying this because I think you will compete against me. Jin's voice dropped to a whisper. I know, sister, but I've already been through an assassination attempt. That is why I absolutely cannot back down from this fight. Luna's reaction was immediate. Her aura flared, the temperature in the room plummeting. Who dares to try such a thing in the Storm Castle? Which sibling would dare try to kill you here? Tell me, Jin, which sibling tried to kill you? Jin shook his head. I cannot disclose that information. I mean, to be fair, I have not yet discovered their identity. He offered a small, wry smile. Besides, even though they attempted to kill me, look, I'm fine, sister, and thank you for letting me know this, that not all of my siblings hate me. Luna hugged Jin, her usual icy demeanor shattered. Jin, my brother, that means you have already gotten involved in this dirty family battle. Her voice wavered. This saddens me so. Jin was taken aback. To think Sister Luna was such a tender-hearted person. He reached out, his tone gentle but firm. Don't be so sad, Luna replied. Yes, today is a joyous occasion, so we shouldn't just talk about such things. Today is your birthday. I'm actually here today to give you your birthday gift. Luna extended a small, intricately crafted pendant toward Jin. Its centerpiece was a shimmering blue gem, humming with latent power. A pendant? Jin examined it curiously. Can you sit facing away for a moment? Luna asked. As Jin turned, she fastened the chain around his neck, her voice low and solemn. For one time, when you meet with something you can't handle, break the blue gem on this pendant. Then, no matter where you are, I will come to you. So don't forget to have it on you at all times. Luna's lips curved. Happy 9th birthday, Jin. Thank you, sister. As Luna prepared to leave, Jin waved his hand. All right, do take care, sister. Scene shifts to the secret library. Hey, you're here. Ah! What's that around your neck? Jin blinked. I got it as a birthday gift. Huh. That person must really love you to give you something like this, Jin asked. What is it? It's an artifact of Demon King Orgel. 1,000 years ago, people were risking their lives just to get their hands on one of his artifacts. Is it something that amazing? Murakami snorted. Of course. It gives the wearer resistance to attack magic at 5 stars and below, as well as enhances the wearer's magical abilities. I bet it has summoning abilities too. Jin eyed him. You seem to know a lot about it, Murakami replied. Well, it's because I was alive during the same period. Murakami grumbled, as if that explained everything. Anyway, this was from the person with the strong energy who came just now, right? Jin nodded. Yes. My eldest sister came by. Wait, you sensed her energy all the way from here? Murakami smirked. Yep. I bet your sister sensed my energy too. A flicker of worry crossed Jin's face. She won't tell my family, right? The dragon rolled his eyes. You're worrying over nothing. She's someone who gave you such a valuable gift. Would she tell on her youngest brother and leave him to die? Jin asked. Is that so? Murakami replied. Yes. You can trust that sister of yours. Sure enough, Luna also sensed a strong energy that was not here before. If the little one is preparing something, I should pretend to not know anything. Then, softer, as if speaking to himself. Just remember one thing. Jin, my brother. Whatever you do, whatever you become, I will always be by your side. While Murakami was enjoying Jin's birthday cake, the years in Storm Castle had passed far differently than Jin ever anticipated. His father's acknowledgement, a flicker of warmth in the patriarch's cold eyes. The phoenix heart, a fiery gift from his battle-mad sister Mary. An unspoken bond with his quiet sister Luna. And Murakami, the ancient black dragon who had become both mentor and ally. Things I could never even dream of having in my past life. Now, at just 10 years old, Jin trained under Khan. The training grounds echoed with the sharp rhythm of fist-striking palm. Khan thought, as expected, no wonder the patriarch has taken notice. Yet, though he was meant to be assessing Jin, it felt more like Jin was assessing him. Let's stop here. Khan said at last. Okay, Jin replied. Khan hesitated. Young Master Jin, did you have a problem with today's training? Jin tilted his head. Why? Khan's voice carried reverence. It is my greatest honor to teach you. There's not much time left until you leave Storm Castle, but I promise I'll give you the best training I can until the very end. Jin inclined his head. I'll be in your care until then. Later, in his chamber, Jin's hand hovered over a burning candle. Gilly gasped. Oh my, is that not hot? Feels like warm water now. Her eyes widened. Lady Mary's gift truly works wonders. The Phoenix Heart's power had seeped into his blood, granting resistance to heat that would have scorched anyone else. Young Master, we leave at dawn tomorrow. Please tell me if you need anything prepared. Her gaze flicked to the books stacked on the table. Shall I pack these? Yeah, I'll read them in the carriage. Understood. Then for today, I'll prepare strawberry pie for you. Thanks, Gilly. Wait, I'm going for a short stroll. She blinked. Now? Sorry, I'll be right back. Hey, you're back, kid? You remember I leave tomorrow, right? Jin asked. Of course. Do you know how long I've waited for this day? Then, how are you planning to follow me? Murakami snorted. Don't sweat the small stuff, brat. I'm the Black Dragon. Even weakened, slipping past notice is child's play. Jin frowned. Weakened? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Bastard, how do you think I'd be fine after sleeping for 1,000 years? Can you regain your strength? Of course, I'll grow stronger as you do, so hurry up and become a magic swordsman like Timar. Jin's eyes darkened. Runkandel was once a magic swordsman family, Solderet told me. Timar Runkandel, the strongest magic swordsman in history. But no one remembers, because of a vow of humiliation 1,000 years ago. Murakami's tail lashed. If it were 1,000 years ago, you and I would be worshipped for bringing the noblest bloodline back to the world. Now they just curse me. Anyway, I'll hide. Don't worry. Jin pointed toward the glass capsule Murakami had once slumbered in. And that? Won't someone notice it's empty? I'll cast an illusion. And if it fails, kid? Murakan seized Jin's head with one claw. I'm the dragon of shadows. Illusions are nothing to me. Jin slapped his hand away. Respect me a little more. The dragon's sulking ended instantly when Jin presented his gift, strawberry pie and a bottle of stolen liquor. Wah! Murakan's eyes lit up. Don't get drunk and make weird illusions, Jin warned. What do you take me for, you beautiful child? Raising you was worth it. Now introduce me to your nanny, too. I'll think about it. At dawn, Gilly fretted. Young master, life in the main castle will be nothing like Storm Castle. You'll be busier, and you won't have pie whenever you want. I know. I'll do my best there, too. Gilly bowed deeply. Then I will devote myself even more to you. Two knights stepped forward. Guardian Knights Jerome and Holtz greet young master Jin. We will safely escort you to the Garden of Swords. Okay, Jin said, steady. I'll be in your care. Let's go. October 30th, 1790. The day had arrived. I'm finally leaving Storm Castle to step into the Garden of Swords. The carriage jolted violently as the blizzard thickened, snow piling rapidly on the mountain path. Jerome's voice cut through the howling wind. It looks like it will pile up in no time. We should stop by a nearby village and wait till it stops, Gilly replied. If there's a lot of snow, we won't be able to use the teleportation gate. Then the carriage suddenly flipped and a shout came. It's an ambush. Please stand by inside the carriage. Gilly tightly held Jin, her hands trembling but her voice steady. Young master, it will be fine. Please, do not worry. Jerome and Holtz are 7-star Guardian Knights, and you also have me too. Gilly informed Jin. There are about 20 enemies, some mages and warriors also. There is a possibility that there are archers too. I don't think there's anyone above 7-star. Jerome and Holtz are fighting right now. But then realization struck Jin like lightning. Jin's instincts screamed. We need to get out of the carriage right now. Gilly gasped. Pardon? Jin's voice was ice. The Runcandle Guardian Knights, under no circumstances, must leave a Runcandle child unattended. One of them must be by my side. That means one of them is a traitor, or a fake. There might be some hidden equipment within this carriage. We need to get out right now, Gilly. Gilly's fear hardened into resolve. I understand, young master. For now, I will protect you, young master, as a member of Runcandle. Gilly glowed with latent aura as she took out her iron claws. Please understand, even if I go a bit overboard, snow crunched underfoot as she burst out from the carriage holding Jin. I will receive punishment as soon as we arrive back at the estate. Gilly, now's not the time to be thinking about that. Let's go to where both of them are. I need to confirm something. Gilly asked. Confirm? Jin replied. The people they are fighting might actually be our allies. Jin's instincts prickled as he assessed the situation. If the assassins are after me, then now would be the best time to kill me since I just got out of the carriage. But it's so quiet. It's strange. Gilly nodded sharply. I see. I understand, young master. Then, shouts erupted from the battlefield. Find Jin Runcandle. Jin's eyes locked onto the insignias flashing in the snow, a symbol of a demon and black sakura. The Yuta family from the Mattel family of magic, and the mercenary group, the Black King Squad. Then a mage spoke. Over there. I found Gilly McLaurin. I have also confirmed Jin Runcandle's presence. But the next command, everyone. Protecting Jin Runcandle is your top priority. A towering figure stepped forward. Mareka, Black King Squad's captain. We've come to rescue Jin Runcandle on a request from Runcandle. The knights, still acting like they were protecting Jin, shouted, You bastard, how dare you mess with the young master? Jin's mind raced. They weren't traitors, but fakes, Jin realized aloud. If they really were 7-star knights, then there's no way they would have struggled against these people. Gilly asked the knights, Who are you? Reveal your purpose and who you are working for. The knight laughed. You're asking such an obvious question. Why would I tell the dog of Runcandle? Well, the knight was correct. Why should he tell her? Young master, what should we do? Gilly asked, ready to strike. Jin's reply was glacial. Let's kill one. And cut an arm off the other. Then bring him to me. Gilly's grin was fierce. I will do as you wish. Then Gilly launched herself towards the knight, giving him no time to react, and killed him instantly. The other knight panicked and stepped forward to attack, but he couldn't even swing his sword fully. Gilly had already cut his hand. Then another sword came at Gilly, but she dodged and kicked him in the stomach, grabbed his hair, and dragged him towards her young master. Jin's voice, dripping with disdain, spoke. It seems like your masters underestimated their opponents too much. In order to become a nanny of Runcandle, you must be a warrior of 7-star and above. If you wanted to assassinate a child of Runcandle, then you should have sent at least 3 to 4 8-star knights. The man spat blood, his defiance clinging to desperation. This is just a warning. The reign of Runkandel will come to an end. Jin's lips curled into a smirk. That's something that I want too. He leaned closer. I don't want the reign of Runkandel. I want the reign of Jin Runkandel to begin. The man's eyes widened as the implication sank in. Then the knight started spouting, Praise the great Zipple. Jin's attention shifted to Zipple, the renowned mage family that rules the other half of this world. Contrary to Runkandel, who pursue the ultimate sword, they pursue the ultimate magic. 1,000 years ago, after the founder of Runkandel died, Zipple imposed a humiliating oath to ban magic throughout Runkandel and all magical abilities through that oath. For Runkandel, Zipple is an enemy of 1,000 years. I was wondering who was behind this, considering they did something as daring as this, but it was just a follower of Zipple. Gilly, just throw this guy away somewhere nearby. He's not even worth interrogating. Gilly bowed. I understand. The man's scream was cut short as she dragged him into the blizzard. But Jin's mind raced. What happened today is not how Zipple handles things. It seems like their followers did whatever they pleased. But something was strange. No matter how sophisticated their disguise was, it's difficult to deceive the eyes of a 7-star warrior. A name flickered in his mind. Don't tell me. That bastard was involved with this? Gilly returned from disposing of the Zipple operative. Young master, I've taken care of it as per your orders. Jin nodded, then turned his attention to the Black King Squad's captain. I was able to escape successfully because you guys diverted their attention away from me. As soon as we arrive at the Runkandel Castle, I'll make sure to report on the help you've provided. The family will be sure to reward you handsomely. Mareka's eyes flickered. I will do my best. This kid, even if he's from the Runkandel family, how is he already wandering outside the castle? He's only a 10-year-old kid, but he's already that confident and dignified? Maybe what he said just now of ending Runkandel's reign and beginning his own, that might not have been just some kid spouting nonsense. He might have been serious about it. Mareka barked orders to his squad. You guys, no, everyone listen up. Until the teleportation gate is established, be careful of how you act. Refrain from any foolish behavior. Understood? One mercenary scoffed. What, Captain? What kind of nonsensical order is that? Since when did we care about such stuff? Just shut up and do as I say. Then Gilly said, Captain Mareka, I think we can depart now. Mareka straightened. Ooh, understood. Let's depart then.
A few moments later.
As they were walking on a cliff of a snowing mountain, Gilly asked, Is it all right for us to leave those fakes alone? Jin replied, It's fine. Whether they're found alive or dead, they'll make good examples for their comrades. Great job, Gilly. Thank you. They told us that in about 2 hours we'll be reaching a village. As they walked, Jin glanced at Gilly. Don't worry about what happened in regards to the escort. It's not your fault. His voice softened slightly. Even Khan, who's a 9-star knight, didn't realize what was happening. It'd be harder for you, a 7-star warrior, to notice anything amiss. It isn't a big deal for me to tell you what a guardian knight should do. Gilly apologized for what happened. Jin thought, Gilly's still the same as before. His thoughts drifted to the past. As the nanny of the Runkandel family, her fate is bound to the child she's in charge of. Gilly was my nanny in my previous life. Because I was untalented, she was scorned and despised as well. But she never once resented me for that. On the day I was banished from the Runkandel family, Gilly had been cast out alongside me. Back then, she had bowed her head, voice trembling. Young master, I'm sorry for not being able to serve you well. That was how Gilly treated me, so I don't want to be harsh on her. But the present is different from my previous life. Gilly needs to harden her resolve too. Gilly, lowering her head, spoke. I'll gladly receive any punishment in regards to what happened this time. Jin shouted. Don't blame yourself for it. This is my order to you, Gilly. If you let such a trivial matter bother you, there'll be problems in the future when you escort me. A final command, edged with uncharacteristic warmth. So don't make me say those things ever again. Understood? Yes, young master. I'll rectify that. The weight of Jin's care struck her. To think the young master is taking care of me to that extent. He's saying all this for my sake, so I must get a grip and make sure that no one ever hurts him ever again. Jin observed her transformation with quiet satisfaction. What a relief. It looks like she's cheered up. Scene shifts. As they opened the door, a warm welcome greeted them. The owner of the inn asked, How many rooms do you need? Mareka replied, 2. But Jin's mind was focused somewhere else, those fake guardian knights. If I'm right, there's a high chance that person is involved. Transformation sorcerer, Bubare Gaston. Transformation is something that dragons are good at, but even the dragons aren't able to perform a perfect transformation. Yet Bubare could. Bubare was the only existence that could perform the perfect transformation and use that ability to commit numerous transformation crimes and to cause chaos in the world. If Bubare is indeed involved in this, then this has just gotten very complicated. While Captain Mureka was asking, "If you need anything, then feel free to ask," Jin replied, "Thank you." Back to Jin's mind. Although he has not done anything prominent yet, in my previous life, when I turned 20, Beement's Special Affairs Division had arrested him. A dangerous idea took root. If I turned him into my ally, he might come in handy. Just as quickly, he dismissed it. I've got no reason to take in a guy who pointed his sword at me. The priority was clear. Before Bubare creates more trouble, I need to check if anything has changed compared to my previous life. Gilly's voice interrupted his thoughts. "Young master, I'll be standing guard outside then." But Jin had already fallen asleep.
1 hour later.
They saw a tail wiggling and a voice came. "Meow, meow!" Jin jolted awake, his body stiff from the carriage ride. Ah, did I fall asleep? Even though I've trained numerous times in the Storm Castle previously, I guess it's still too tiring for my 10-year-old body. A soft sound made him freeze. But what's that sound? His gaze dropped to the window, where a small black cat stood primly. Jin's eyes widened as he realized. "Could you be?" Murakan's voice echoed in Jin's mind. "In any case, I'm going to hide myself and follow you, so don't worry." Jin sighed. "All right, I understand." Then he went towards the window. "You said you're going to hide and follow me. You meant to do that by becoming a cat?" Murakan's fur bristled. "All right, I'm sorry. I was just surprised because I wasn't expecting you to be in this form." As he opened the window, the cat jumped inside, transforming back to its human form. Jin gestured vaguely. "I thought you'd disguise yourself as one of my servants, like a horseman or something." Murakan flashed indignantly. "If I do that, the knights in your family will all notice me. Do you know how tough it was for me as I followed?" As he was saying this, he tripped and hit his head so hard. The door slammed open. Gilly entered, ready to kill whoever was in there. She asked, "Young master, what's the matter?" Her eyes locked onto Murakan, who was holding his head. Then she said, "How dare you go after the young master?" Then she held Murakan by his neck, ready to kill him any moment. Gilly asked, "Tell me everything before I rip you into 1,000 pieces. Who the hell are you?" Jin lunged between them. "Wait a minute, Gilly. This person is..." Murakan, as soon as he heard the word Gilly, realized this was Gilly. Then the entire scenario changed. Murakan, on his knees, spoke, "Oh, my strawberry pie, I've finally met you." Gilly's mind fizzled out. Strawberry pie? And Jin in the background was like, "Oh shit, now we're totally screwed." Murakan continued, "I've been looking forward to like this video and subscribe so that I can meet my strawberry pie again."